Well, in that spirit, we are going to dive right in to today's topic, which is exploring gratitude and specifically what it means to be grounded in gratitude as a way of life. So, we'll explore the true essence of gratitude and kind of redefine it as a steady, rooted practice that calms, nourishes, and connects us with ourselves and the world around us. And I felt like this was a really wonderful time. Hi, Kim. Beautiful sunshine. Wonderful. I felt like this topic was really timely for right now as we are about to, or I guess we've already kind of crossed over into the collective frenzy of the holiday season and this kind of narrative that arises around that time where we're often pulled and told to do more, do more, spend more, seek more, eat more, and just kind of more, more, more. And gratitude really invites us to slow down and to simplify and to find joy in what already is. Because as we'll explore and I'll share in a moment, there's nothing missing. So let's explore how gratitude can be a grounding force that brings us back to presence and how we can really draw inspiration from nature to integrate the practice into our lives. So that's where we're headed today. And I am Devin. It is wonderful to be here with you. I'm an integrative health expert and an Ayurvedic health advisor, a holistic life coach. And my mission and passion in life is to really guide folks to simplify their lives and to align with nature's rhythms and wisdom so that they can live like they want to live and cultivate unshakable resilience, vibrant health, and deep joy and contentment, and all of those yummy things that are really not as complicated as we've made them out to be in our modern world. And gratitude is really a wonderful practice to make all of those things happen. So, gratitude. Gratitude as a rooted practice, to be rooted in gratitude. What does that kind of evoke for you and bring up for you as I say that? I'm curious, just kind of chew on that for a moment. So, gratitude isn't just about making lists. That can be a really wonderful practice. I know that's kind of been a trendy thing on the interwebs of people kind of talking about their gratitude lists and gratitude journaling, and that's really useful. And sometimes with practices like that, it can be disembodied. It can turn into a thing that we feel like we should be doing, and it's another item to kind of check off of our to-do list because we've overcomplicated self-care and the journey of healing and becoming. So what if instead we can start to view gratitude as something deeper, maybe even subtler, quieter, and more nourishing? Something that can actually become a way of life, a way of living. I like to think of gratitude as a form of actually grounding. So, a practice that can root us into the present moment and remind us that this right here is enough. And that this right here is all that there is. That's it. This is it. And nature really models this for us wonderfully. We can look at the plants. The trees don't strive for more or to rush the seasons. They root into the earth and then they take what they need and they thrive with what is already there for them. And so, in the same way, we can begin to practice gratitude as a way to appreciate what's already present and simplifying our approach to life and to living and finding that peace that is already inside of us, already here, already in everything that's happening, whatever it may be, regardless of whether or not we like it or we think it should be different. That's what gratitude helps us to cultivate. And it can be really hard. I'm being reminded of times throughout my life when I really just dug my heels in, and that resistance to being with what is real. So you're not alone. Welcome to being a human. Gratitude helps us to recognize and appreciate the abundance that already exists within us and around us at all times. We get to let go of that kind of, if only this, or when I have XYZ, then I can be grateful, then I'll be enough. It's letting go of that endless external seeking. So we can, again, embrace this notion that this is it. There's nothing missing and nothing needs to be added to this moment or to yourself to be whole and complete. You don't need to know anything, figure anything out, or somehow be better or different to be more worthy of love and joy and the goodness that you desire than you already are right now. And it's like it's here. There is always that background of beingness and of softness and of um, okayness that is here. We can get really caught up in the foreground of whatever's happening and make the big stories and things out of it. So when we can shift our perspective, gratitude becomes less about striving and more about observing. So that real sense of like being with what is, being quiet, grounding, and just noticing the beauty and the abundance that are already here. Letting go of chasing the external. And from there, we're really able to cultivate greater loving kindness towards ourselves and others. There becomes an ability to really flow with life. Gratitude is 1000% tied into nourishing our resilience reserves. You know, that's my favorite things to discuss and to walk with people in that journey of nourishing resilience. Practicing gratitude and flipping that mindset is a wonderful way of doing that. It's arguably like if, when we're taking this perspective of gratitude, where it's kind of this present moment anchoring and being with what is and understanding that this is it. I mean, that's what resilience is made of. So it's like the way. It also leads us to an ability to surrender and to cultivate contentment or sankosha, a concept from the Yoga Sutras. This state of inner peace and satisfaction rather than that gripping, that attachment, and that seeking of external things, external more, more. It helps us to quiet our minds and to really be in the present, reducing stress and anxiety for sure. So if those are things that you experience, and I don't know a human on the planet at this time who doesn't have those moments of stress and anxiety, if we start to kind of get a little carried away in all of the things, anchoring back into this perspective of gratitude, being with what is, being in that being space of the present is a wonderful way to counter that and to bring awareness to the other part that's here, right? Because something also that happens, and this is a bit of a tangent, just slightly, when we're caught up in the anxiety or the stress, the things that aren't perhaps, you know, in this exact moment. Like right now, in this moment, I am sitting in my office. I'm in a room. I am safe. I'm okay. And I think what can happen for many of us is we lose that tethering, that grounded, rooted to what is in the moment, and get swept away with the mind's stories and thoughts about all the other things. So when I can come back to that gratitude, that perspective, that anchor, that rooted gratitude, it helps to shift out of that. And I can still hold both things. It's not one or the other. It's not a practice of negating our feelings or understanding and accepting that there are real things in our lives and in the world that will evoke a sense of stress and anxiety and uncertainty. But being able to hold that other part that is always there as well, that inner sense of okayness, that, like I said, that backdrop of beingness that is always there, and that things in the foreground kind of come and catch our attention and pull us away, but that's there as well. So gratitude helps us to come back to that and to hold all of that. It nourishes greater resilience. When we have greater resilience, and as you know, we've discussed many times, if you haven't seen or heard the many talks I've done over the years, or the blog posts and all the stuff about resilience, I invite you to check that out. So the more that we have of that, the more that we have nourished our inner resilience reserves. It's a very holistic aspect, the way that we teach resilience at InnerSpark and the practices that we offer. So when I'm really nourishing that resilience, I am more able to hold all of the things in life. So see, it all comes together. It's all just all these different facets. And lastly, because there's just so many benefits, I feel like I'm like gratitude's like spokesperson. Let me tell you all the benefits. It really just deepens our connection to ourselves and to others and to the natural world. And it reminds us that we're part of something larger, the big, beautiful web of life, the great mystery that none of us can figure out or answer or any of that. We're just here with it. And so as we deepen that gratitude practice, deepen the practice of anchoring into the moment, bringing our awareness to, yes, the background of beingness that's always here, we're more connected, we're more able to flow and to surrender and to really be in life, period. So how can this look? How can this look? Like I said earlier, the gratitude journaling is wonderful. And so if that's a practice that you enjoy and it doesn't feel like an autopilot thing or something you should do, honestly, none of your self-care practices or things that you're doing on a daily basis should feel that way. I don't like to use the word should. However, if any of the things that you're doing in the name of healing or self-care feel like chores or like things to just cross off your to-do list or bring you stress, I'd argue that they might be doing you more harm than good. So again, another tangent. I'm full of them today. So yeah, the gratitude journaling is wonderful. Do that if you like it. Try it if you haven't. If you're looking for new ways, I would really invite practices that bring a sense of embodiment. So journaling, I'm a huge fan, huge fan. It's a huge part of my work. It's a huge part of my programs. Love it. And also we bring in other components as well, because it can be a little bit in the head. So bringing in those other aspects, because you have a body and you have emotions and you have all these other layers of yourself that we can explore as well. So bringing in gratitude practices that get into the body. So for example, taking time with your breath and really feeling it. Do it right now with me if that feels good. Like feel it into your nostrils, into the sinus cavities, and then down into the lungs. Like track its journey into your body. And then follow the exhale back out. And I dare you to tell me that just doesn't evoke wonder and gratitude and awe. Dare you to tell me. So yeah, bringing that felt sense of connection to something that evokes that sense of gratitude. And as you're feeling that gratitude, noticing how that lands in your body. How does that emotion arise for you? Is there a particular place in the body that you feel it? Is there a particular sensation associated with it? Basically, how do you know that what you're feeling is gratitude and not, another emotion? So really feeling what's happening. And then another practice is letting it be at multiple times throughout the day. So we're kind of training the brain to begin to naturally find these opportunities, these moments where we can tap into that feeling. So maybe it's the sound of a bird, the sound of leaves rustling through the trees, a warm cup of tea, feeling your heartbeat. So it doesn't have to be like grand. It can be, but it's finding these simple things that are here and already here that we often overlook. And then lastly, a practice I wanted to share was, again, letting nature really inspire you and guide you in that practice. So observing nature, a tree, a flower, the sky, and reflect on the ways that this this great mystery, this mm, indescribable kind of energy and wonder that is around us, that we're a part of, is doing its thing, and how it's all part of this grander web. For example, on my windowsill right now, there's some cobwebs that probably should have been cleaned a while ago. And I'm watching a tiny spider catch a tinier bug and begin to, wrap it in its tiny little cobweb in the corner. And I feel great joy right now. I feel kind of like a little kid, that kind of innocent child, like, what is this? What are you and what are you doing? And yeah. So those tiny little moments, looking outside and seeing a bird, and I probably sound insane to some people, and that's fine, that's cool. But it really is these simple, like, what are we doing? We are overcomplicating everything, and it doesn't need to be that way. So those simple, natural opportunities. So in conclusion, I would invite you to shift your perspective of gratitude towards one that is, rather than seeking the things to be grateful for or making it kind of an external practice, letting it be a way to root you into yourself and into the present moment. So making that perspective shift, letting yourself feel what gratitude feels like in the body, in the emotions, in that kind of more felt sense. So it's less of a, I need to think of 5 things I'm grateful for today and write them down. And again, that's a wonderful, wonderful practice. And if that's kind of what you've been doing or the only way that you've been exposed to things like that, try on a different perspective. Because the more that we can tap into that and cultivate that feeling, the more of it we will bring into our lives, the more of it will also radiate out to others. So it's this give and take. We're all entangled in the web in the corner of some being's window. Like that ending scene in Men in Black, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, where they're zooming out, and we're all just in a marble that aliens are playing with out in the sky. So, what simple moments can you pause to appreciate today? How can you feel that in your body? How can nature inspire you? And how can you invite more awareness of this rooted gratitude, this contentment, this inner peace that's already here into your life and into your day? Okay, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for joining me, and let's continue this conversation in our naturally resilient and thriving community, especially through the holiday season, where that that narrative is really getting loud to more, 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 more. So let's commit to finding gratitude in simplicity and presence and nature and the steady rhythms and great mystery that we're all a part of. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And if you are ready to go deeper into cultivating a life, a new foundation for living that is rooted in gratitude and resilience and vibrant health and joy, all in alignment with nature and natural living, then I invite you to join the InnerSpark Method Everyday Rhythms program. And you can learn more at theinnersparkmethod.com/everydayrhythms. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you next time.